Hello friends, we are discussing the chapter thermodynamics, and in the last lecture we have discussed that the work done by a system not only depends upon the initial and the final states of the system but also on the path along which the change takes place. Now today in our lecture, we are going to discuss about the heat added during a thermodynamic process. We are going to consider two cases, that is when the expansion of gas is at constant temperature and in the next case an uncontrolled free expansion of gas are the two cases we are going to discuss. The thermodynamic state of the system can be changed by adding heat to the system. Now, we are going to discuss the case expansion of gas at constant temperature. That is, temperature is not going to change, temperature of the system is not going to change, but the gas is going to expand. That is the isothermal expansion of gas. So this is a thermodynamic system. It consists of an ideal gas which is enclosed inside the cylinder. The initial volume of the ideal gas is Vi, and it is fitted with a piston which is a massless, frictionless and movable piston. Now here, this is the initial state of the system, and here we are giving heat from outside, that is from the environment to the system. So here we are giving heat. Now the ideal gas inside the cylinder is heated very slowly, isothermally, so that there is an expansion from initial volume Vi to final volume Vf. The gas is at 300 degree Kelvin, its temperature does not change at all, and there is isothermal expansion and the volume of the gas increases. Finite amount of heat is given to the system, but it is very slow. The heat absorbed by the system is very slowly, and the temperature of the system does not increase. The volume of the gas increases from Vi to Vf. The system absorbs finite amount of heat, but isothermally. That is, it is absorbing finite amount of heat but very slowly and with no change in temperature at all. In this case, since the system absorbs heat from the surrounding, hence Q is greater than 0, and that is system has absorbed heat, and since the volume of the ideal gas has increased from Vi to Vf, hence the work done is greater than 0. Here the exchange of heat takes place. In this case, the exchange of heat takes place with the surroundings. Now we are going to discuss the second case. In the second case, we are going to discuss the uncontrolled free expansion of gas. Now what we are going to do in this same cylinder is now surrounded by insulating material. So this is, here it is the insulating material, here it is the insulating material, and this cylinder is divided into two compartments. One is Vi, that is the initially in case 1, how much was the volume Vi, same is the volume here. This is the first compartment X, and the second compartment Vi dash, that is Y, and there is a thin breakable partition between the two compartments X and Y, or Vi and Vi dash, but in the Y compartment or the Vi dash volume there is vacuum. So the ideal gas is contained initially in state 1 only in the volume Vi, and the compartment Y, that is in the volume Vi dash, there is vacuum. The thin breakable partition is now suddenly broken, and this causes the uncontrolled free expansion of the gas, and the ideal gas from the compartment X now moves inside the compartment Y, And now the volume, the total volume of the ideal gas is now Vf, final volume of the ideal gas becomes Vi plus Vi dash. That is the Vf. Now this cylinder is surrounded by insulating material. Hence naturally no heat. There is no heat exchange from the environment to the system or from the system to the environment. There is no exchange of heat. Q equal to 0. The final volume of the gas is now of the state 2, which is Vf. And here the work done is also 0. Since there is no displacement of the piston, जे piston आहे ते displace करत नाहीये system. So the work done will naturally be 0. So here the work done by the system is 0. Such expansion of gas is called free expansion. Common example of free expansion of gas in our daily life is abruptly puncturing of a balloon or a tire of a vehicle. It is observed that when ideal gas undergoes free expansion, there is no change in temperature of the ideal gas. Now here, in the case 1 and in the case 2, the state 1 in the case 1 and state 1 in the case 2 are both same. And in the state 2 and in the case 1 and state 2 in the case 2 also both are same, because here also the expansion of the gas is at constant temperature because it was a free expansion. Now we are here from both the cases we conclude that the initial and the final states in both the cases are same, but the path in both the cases is different. The initial in both the cases, the initial and the final state of the system is the same, but in case 1 the path is different and in case 2 the path is different. In case 1 there is exchange of heat with the surrounding, and in case 2 there is no exchange of heat with the surrounding. Also there is no work because there is no displacement of the piston. Hence the work done is 0, the heat supplied to the system is 0. Hence we can say heat transferred to a system depends upon the path. Now in the next point we are going to discuss about the classification of the thermodynamic processes. What is a thermodynamic process? The process by which two or more state variables of a system can be changed is called a thermodynamic process or a thermodynamic change. We are going to discuss the reversible process. So, the thermodynamic process in which the system can restore to its initial state, it can come again to its initial state. It is called as the reversible process. In the reversible process, the change can be retraced in the opposite direction. Now the examples are melting of ice, freezing of water, boiling of water, condensation of steam. These are all reversible processes. So this is the PV diagram for the reversible process. Now here A is the initial state of the system. In the initial state, its pressure is Pi and volume is Vi. And now from the point A, the system has come to point B. Its initial volume is, its final volume is Vf and final pressure is Pf. So it has come from state A to state B. But when this is a reversible process, it can again move from the state B to the state A as shown by the arrow. So the path AB shows the expansion of the gas and the path BA shows the compression of the gas. So here in this case it is the reversible expansion and compression taking place. The changes are very slow and there is no loss of energy in the process, and the system comes back to its initial state. Such reversible processes are actually ideal processes, because in practical case, when the system returns to its original state, there is always loss of heat due to friction or some other dissipative forces. Now, the second type of thermodynamic process we are going to discuss is the irreversible process. Now here, again, the system is at point A, and from point A, it has moved to the point B. The irreversible process is the change that cannot be retraced exactly in the opposite direction. So in the irreversible process, again, we cannot move by this same path. In an irreversible process, there is permanent loss of heat from the system due to some frictional or some dissipative forces. The maximum of the real life thermodynamic processes are irreversible. Some examples of irreversible process are the puncturing of a balloon or puncturing of a tire, or the burning of a candle, or rubbing of our palms. These are all irreversible processes. In this PV diagram for the irreversible process, the system initially has moved from A to B, but now in this irreversible process, it cannot move by the same initial path. It cannot reverse. It has to move by some different path in the irreversible process, because the heat or energy is lost due to friction or due to other dissipative forces. The next, we are going to discuss about the cause of irreversibility. What are the main reasons that the processes are irreversible? Now, in maximum processes, the friction, the viscosity, or the dissipative forces are involved, and hence the processes are irreversible. And also, there is one more important reason for the processes to be irreversible. That is, during free expansion of gas, or if explosive chemical reaction takes place, then the system comes to a non-equilibrium state. And hence, in such cases, the thermodynamic processes are irreversible. And now we would be discussing about the thermodynamics, the details of the thermodynamic processes. Like we would be discussing the thermodynamics of the isothermal process, where temperature remains constant, or the thermodynamics of the isobaric process, where pressure remaining constant and the other variables change. Also, we would be discussing the thermodynamics of the isochoric process, where the volume remaining constant and the other variables change. Or we would be discussing about the thermodynamics of the adiabatic process, where there is no exchange of energy with the surroundings. So, for the study of the thermodynamic processes, there are some assumptions we have considered. We are assuming something for the study of the thermodynamic processes. So, we are assuming that the maximum of the thermodynamic processes are reversible. Practically, it is not the case, but this is our assumption, that majority of the thermodynamic processes are reversible, and this thermodynamic processes taking place, it is quasi-static. That is, the process taking place is very, very slowly. The system undergoes infinite simul change. The change in the system is there, but very, very small. Also, except the exception is the adiabatic process, whereas there is no exchange of energy with the surrounding. And it is considered when we are discussing about the thermodynamic process, though it is isothermal, isobaric, isochoric, any process, any thermodynamic process, it is assumed that the system is always in thermodynamic equilibrium. Also, what system are we considering when we are studying the processes? The system which we are considering is a cylinder, and there is a piston to the cylinder. What is inside the cylinder? There is ideal gas inside the cylinder. And how is the piston? The piston is massless, the piston is frictionless, the piston is movable. So these are all this is the system which we are going to consider and which we are going to study. Now, the ideal gas equation is applicable to the system. So these are all the assumptions which we have to, these are all the assumptions when we are studying the various thermodynamic processes. Thank you.